Spring is in the air. You walk past an Easter lily, you smell the lovely fragrance. Some of you may have smelled the Easter lily when you went to church yesterday. Unfortunately, I can't go to church anymore because when I walk in, I smell Grandma's perfume. Now, the idea of perfume to me is worse than food dye, for those of you that heard my last speech. I suffer from all sorts of multiple chemical sensitivities and difficulties. And one of the things with spring is a lot of people think of allergies. Yet allergies keep getting worse and worse every year. And I know when I went to the allergist and they tested me for all of these different items, dander, ragweed, they all came up negative. But yet, when spring is in the air, I know I'm not doing all that well. And you have to think of it more as atmosphere as opposed to spring. What is in the air in spring is more pollution. The pollution might be there year-round, but spring, the change of gas and water particles and taking from ice and bringing back to water, all of it moves differently. Now, I have a super sniffer. I can identify all sorts of smells. And I find it ironic that I own beagles who are known for their super sniffers. Well, when I got tested a few years ago when I was bedridden because I was so sick, the doctors kept saying, we can't find anything wrong with you. One of the problems I had growing up was I wouldn't sneeze. And as I started to get healthier, all of a sudden I started sneezing. But every time I sneezed, my dog would come running across the room and sniff my nose. Dogs have been known to detect cancers. And, of course, they search our luggage at the airport. They have the ability to identify something that we can't see. I think of myself like the canary in the coal mine. Does everyone know what that means, a canary in the coal mine? There's a song by the Police. Dizzy even walking in a straight line. The canary in the coal mine is when coal miners would go underground, they would carry a canary with them. If the canary keeled over dead, they knew there were gases in the air that would eventually kill them. I smell that in spring. My gut churns, my head aches. I walk around dizzy. And just like the food chemicals in our foods that, we don't notice it much. It's when you start having lots of it build up and build up and build up. Tertullius, basically a pharmacist from the 1500s, he had lots of other credentials. He said, all things are poison and nothing is without poison. Only the dose permits something not to be poisonous. So, you might smell a lovely perfumed fragrance and think, oh, that's nice. What you don't know is out of 3,000 chemicals tested by the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, 884 of those chemicals were toxic. These chemicals are in our personal products. They're called fragrances. And fragrances, they don't list the individual items because the manufacturers consider it trade secret, that it's proprietary information. Of those 3,000 chemicals, not only was 884 of them toxic, but 314 of them caused biomedical mutations. 218 caused reproductive complications, and 778 caused acute toxicity. 1/3 of the chemicals in the products we use are known to cause cancer or serious problems. And we have it ubiquitous in the air all the time. So, the action steps. What should you do? Well, firstly, on a personal note, while I was sick and bedridden, I wrote a book called Mold Spores, and if anyone would like to read my book, Mold Spores, it's a fictional novel about a girl struggling to overcome mental illness, and it was actually caused by toxic mold. And she's having to put the pieces of the puzzle together in her dreams, which actually smell and emotions are in the same part of your brain. So your brain warns you of these chemicals, but they also trigger emotions. But my book, if you want to write it down, is at formybj.com/book, everything lowercase, and then mold-spores-crazy.pdf, and you can read the book. But also, in addition, just like I said with the food dye, read the label. If you have something that says fragrance, know that 1/3 of the chemicals in that could cause cancer or serious problems. That 884 are toxic. So please, don't wear perfume, avoid fragrances, and be aware that spring is in the air. Thank you.